everybody, here are my main points for my critical essay that I wrote. So I started out my essay by kind of talking very broadly kind of about what this course is about, that culture is ever changing and growing so much, and that it's really important to understand all of the pieces that it has and how it's connected across different cultures, and how to communicate is really important between all of those things. And so in general, the topics that stood out to me the most in this class were power and resistance, knowledge and power, gender, and then disability, and how each of them connect to intercultural communication. But in particular, gender is what I chose to do my critical essay over. It's something that I really thought was very interesting in this content of this course, and then also I felt the most comfortable with it to be able to write a critical essay about, and really be able to kind of speak my mind and say what I want to say, but also kind of go off of what we were taught in the class. But in general, culture, I kind of defined it as, of course, how everyone else defines it, in a way of like learning practices and like what's going on around you and how that impacts you, but just in general, the impact that it has. And to be able to communicate interculturally means that you can have a bigger impact in wherever you are, whether that means gender or power or disabilities, people with disabilities, then you're able to have more impact with them because you can communicate with them across interculturals. So I believe that understanding gender and its relation to intercultural communication has a lot of power to make a positive impact in our world today. I think that there are a lot of learned practices when it comes to how to communicate over genders, especially genders through different cultures. And so I think there's a lot that can be learned and a lot that can be taught through this. So much miscommunication and misunderstanding about the expectations of each gender are prevalent in our day-to-day, and it makes people seem predictable, and people are not predictable. Culture is not predictable, society is not predictable, so I think just in general they kind of go hand in hand. But something I found very impactful in this section was the video about oppressed society. It was the French video that kind of swapped roles between how a man and a woman feel like society is treating them, and so I kind of talked about that a little bit in my essay. And then I also talked about how when I visited Europe, the feelings that I had around how I was seeing that they were reacting and talking about women's empowerment and women in the workplace, women in government, and how it's different than in America. So those are kind of some main points that I had about that. And then to conclude, I feel like this course was extremely informative and learned a lot of new views. I'm sure a lot of us did, on kind of the ever-changing intercultural communication and how we can really all grow to do it all a lot better, and to grow with the next generation. Thanks.